guys, welcome to the first episode of Dumpster Diving Treasure Treasure Q&A. I told you guys a few episodes back that I will be doing a Q&A, and here we are right now. I got my questions right here in front of me, so we're going to answer a couple of them, and then we're just going to go off on a couple little random answers that, the questions might not have been asked, but I just want to answer them anyway. So hope you guys enjoy it, and let's just dive on into it, and stay tuned. I know this is not a full episode, but we got some good finds in the books, guys. I had a major haul, so hopefully that will be included in this newest episode. All right, and we'll be doing this again, guys, so don't worry if you guys missed asking a question. We will go ahead and fire up an episode 2 of Q&A Dumpster Diving Edition. Now, again, if you guys are new to the channel, I have my vlogs and I have my dumpster diving videos, and so hopefully you guys enjoy them both. If you guys don't, maybe you will one day. All right, first question is from Heather. What is your day job? Well, actually, this is 3 questions in one, but we'll answer it. Heather asks, what is your day job? Well, the time of the question, it was a chauffeur driver. Just like Uber, just like Lyft, but I wasn't working for those companies. I was working for myself. I started my own luxury transportation service, I like to call it. It was just a one-man show. I bought a car a while back, started in 2007, bought a Cadillac CTS, started the company with a Cadillac CTS, got some clients through a hotel. I was a valet before that. That's how I got my clients. I knew all the guys working at the hotel. They called me up, they said, hey, this guy from the hotel needs a ride. So I'd take them up to the airports, local airports and whatnot. It was a great gig, great bachelor gig. As I got married, it got a little harder due to the schedule because, you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're down for a nap, the hours are definitely, it's a bachelor gig, unless you have set hours working for a company. But since I was working for myself, it was a little bit of a hustle right off the bat, having to get your own clients, which God blessed it, and I was able to do it for 9 years. I'm no longer doing it anymore because now I'm doing full-time YouTube, full-time dumpster diving, and full-time internet marketing type thing where I just kind of have my hand in a lot of different things, websites and all that stuff. And I think I link most of that stuff in the description box, my other websites that I have. But now that I've switched over to full-time YouTube, full-time internet work, I need to balance my schedule. My schedule's all jacked up. I'm staying up way too late, sleeping in too late, and so I need to figure that out because my wife works a normal office job, which hopefully, God willing, we're going to work hard and she will skedaddle away from that job and do YouTube herself full time. So that will be in the books for a future date. How did you meet your wife? This is the second part of the question. How did you meet your wife? We actually met, believe it or not, we met online, christianmingle.com. And before you laugh, it works, but you just have to make sure that you meet the right person. So we did. We met on christianmingle.com. You might have heard about it. And the reason I even attempted to do that was I was on Facebook one night back at my bachelor pad. Now Shelfie, which I think we've nicknamed back Bedbugs, Shelfie Bedbugs, Mattress, Mr. Sleeps. Anyway, we've changed his name so many times. It's been a while since he's been on the show. He's had a second child. Congratulations to him. Jay Horder and him have been MIA for a little bit. But Shelfie, Mr. Sleep, had his second child. Congratulations to him. But when I lived with him, he was my old roommate. I lived with him back, oh my gosh, this must have been 08, 09. I got married in 2011, moved out then, so I lived with him for a couple years. Anyway, back then, I was on Facebook, and an advertisement popped up because on my Facebook it said single. So, very smart geniuses, an advertisement popped up, and my religion was checked as Christian. So, they're very smart. A little box popped up, and it said, want to meet Christian singles, and there was a picture of a pretty girl, and I'm like, yes, click. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Make a long story short, I might have been on there for maybe a total of 5-6 months before I made contact with my wife, now, Natalie. But it was an awesome experience. We emailed back and forth. It was different. Most of you guys are like, nah, I couldn't email, but it was really cool not having to really play the games. You just were emailing. You were asking questions, you were being funny with email. It was really cool for me. I really, really enjoyed it. But it was just a really, really cool experience. We finally met. I was really nervous. Found out she had a really thick accent because she was from Brazil. It just didn't really, I was like, oh, okay, she has an accent. And I couldn't really understand her on the phone, but it was really cool. And real quickly, let me share this with you. We went to a congratulations dinner or a success. I think they called it a success dinner. But anyway, Christian Mingle is owned by a company. I don't want to get in trouble for anything I'm saying, so I won't say any big company's name. But anyway, Christian Mingle is owned by a larger company who owns all these side dating sites. Anyway, I believe the CEO of that company and then the people working for ChristianMingle.com, they invited us to Beverly Hills for a success dinner. We went up there and met some other couples that were actually married, but what was funny was that we were only engaged at the time, so I'm not sure if there was miscommunication with my wife and the woman that was working together. But anyway, we got married after all, but we were the only engaged couple out of, I think, 4 couples, and the other couples were all married already, so it was a success dinner, but we were only engaged. Kind of funny. Great dinner, great people. I think one of the guys that we were at dinner with is actually a board member for that company now. I think he's actually on the website. And if you go to ChristianMingle.com and you go under, oh my goodness, go under the year successful stories, go under the year 2011, you will actually see a photo of Natalie and I and our success page or whatever, because we got married in 2011. So go check it out. We're there on the website. They did mention they were going to put us in a commercial. That never went through. If you guys are watching, want to throw me on a commercial, I'm up for it. All right, let's go over to the third part of the question. Do your friends know you dive? Question mark. That is a good call right there. That's a good call. Most people in most circumstance, they want to keep it low pro. Personally, now when I say that, I'm not ashamed of diving at all. Absolutely not. I'm definitely not ashamed. Everyone in my family knows. Most of my friends know. But when I say that keep it low pro, I keep it low pro because I don't want competitors. And so whenever people come over, it's not bragging, but we like to show people because people are blown out of their minds on what you can find. I mean, just over my shoulder right here, as we can see, boom, the television hanging on that wall, 50-inch television, fully working, that was found dumpster diving. That center channel amp over there, dumpster diving. That Sony wireless headphones, kind of hard to see back there, dumpster diving. You guys get the picture. And there's probably a ton of other stuff. There's some real nice decorative stuff that's on the coffee table right here. That was all dumpster diving. My bed, my beautiful bed, dumpster diving. Guys, as you can see where I'm going with this, people are blown out of the water. Again, I don't invite people over and say like, oh my gosh, look at what I have, you know, but if the conversation eventually turns that, people are like, whoa, you have a really beautiful decorated house. We're like, cool, thank you. That's mostly my wife. And then we kind of just get into the stories. Most people know I do it already. Most of my, I would say maybe high school friends, actually no, most of them know already as well. There might be a couple of friends that don't know that I keep it more low pro. And then definitely all the people that I chauffeured, I told a few of them, but that's something you kind of want to keep a little low pro because, you know, I'm different than I am in the vlogs and the dumpster diving. I was different with them. I was a little bit more professional, still funny me, but more professional. That if my clients were to see this, they'd be like, oh, interesting. He acts different. He acts a little bit more funnier, you know? Anyway, definitely I was just, you know, suit and tie and, you know, driving Miss Daisy type thing. Anyway, love the clients, but the hours were a little bit weird with the job. Anyway, so that was kind of a rant, but yes, most of my friends know. I'd say about 85%, 90%. All my family knows. My grandma, my wife's parents, they all go. We actually went with them. My brother, his wife, I told them. They now dive, and so it's all good, guys. It's just kind of passing down the line. All right, let's move on down the line here. And this wasn't a question that was asked, but I do want to address it. My intro for the first, I think, halfway even through the 4th season, all the way since the beginning. It was cheesy. I understand that. It was definitely something that people liked or they didn't like, and the singing was really creepy. Anyway, guys, it was meant to be real chismo type of an introduction. That was my wife and I just doing a little rap there and just having fun. Anyway, it was just supposed to be cute and fun, but I did change it. So hopefully you guys do like the new introduction. Okay, the next question is from Dar, and Dar asks, are the apartments you DD, which means dumpster dive, are they gated communities? Do you just wait for residents to drive up and then put in their PIN, then follow them in? There are several gated communities near my house and I want to be able to DD there. Can you fill us in? Thank you. Looking forward to your questions and answer video. Well, right on. I'm here to answer that for you, absolutely. Okay, so most of the apartment complexes that I DD in, they are open communities. Some are gated. Now, it's interesting the way they do it because, again, I don't want to ever reveal in the videos exactly where I live because there are snipers and a lot of competitors. So where I live, there are cities next to where I live that I'm not going to say poor, I'm not going to say rich, but rent district, I guess you could say. High rent district, lower rent district. There are some cities that butt up against to where I am that there is lower rent district. Now, the city where I dive at borders up against that other city. Now, the communities, the apartment complexes that I DD at that are bordered up to that, those are gated. So those ones that I do, and those ones are the ones that I mostly hit after I come back from church and whatnot. And my first apartment complex where I used to live actually is gated as well. So I actually have a buddy that I used to work with. He actually lives there. He gave me the new PIN, and then my car still has it embedded in the memory system. So I can go in there anytime I want and check those out. Now, another one of my favorite complexes, that one is gated as well. And so, yeah, we just pull up, we pull over to the curb, we wait for a car to come in, they do their PIN or their little push button thing, and we follow them in. And guys, if you're gonna be doing this, make sure that you're clean, make sure that you're not weird, make sure that you're an uninvited guest. And you got to be a little careful about that because technically that could be trespassing. I'm not exactly sure about the laws. So be careful about that. If you are going to be skedaddling in, just make sure that you're not rummaging, causing a ruckus, causing loud noise, causing a mess. Even be a little cleaner than you left it. Now, something to keep in mind, where I am, there are workers driving around in golf carts that you've probably seen in the back of the videos before. You got to be careful about those guys because you don't want to tick them off and you don't want to tick off residents because they could call the police and you could potentially get in trouble for being in a gated community. Now, everyone I've talked to, even managers working there. One time we had solicitors, dropping off stuff, and we mentioned it to the guy, and he's pretty much like, we can't do anything about it. They just slide right in behind a car, So anyway, they don't really care, but you just don't want to push your luck on that. But the other complexes, they're wide open. Anyone can cruise in, not a problem at all. Just again, be clean, be quiet, and just get in, get out, and you're good. So to summarize, there's a few good ones that I do roll in behind somebody else after they put in their PIN, but majority of the ones that I really, really like, that I do mostly all the time, there's no gates. You roll right in, you do your thing, I just pull up, and again, I'm doing it pretty late at night, so I don't disturb anybody. It's dark, I flashlight it. There's only a few residents that are still up, so I'm not really bugging anybody. Sunday afternoons, after church, there are a lot more people, especially on a nice day, coming back from the pool, walking their dogs. You got to be a little bit more sly about it because people, they know a diver. And especially if I'm pulling up in my car when I was chauffeuring, it was a nicer car, so they're like, what in the world is this dude rummaging in the trash for? Anyway, teach their own. Now, this was a question that was asked, and I don't mind answering it. You can actually look at some of my income reports on dumpsterdivingHQ.com. And again, I believe that is linked in the description box below, but forgive me if I botch your pronunciation, but Wyvani Delicious asks, and I actually answered this I didn't know if it was supposed to be for the Q&A or for here, but I actually answered it on the show notes. He or she asks, what's your average monthly income from DDing, if you don't mind? Question mark. I answered on there, but I'll answer it for you right here. Average, now again, lately I haven't been eBaying or Amazoning anything I've been finding. I've mostly been hoarding some stuff. Now, if you're a subscriber on my other channel, Tips and Tricks, I actually do a lot of product reviews for Amazon. So I've been mind-boggled with reviewing products on that channel, so I haven't really been out diving twice a week like I normally am, but we still do it after church, and I still go to Office Depot like 3 or twice a week. because my gym is literally like right there. So lately it has been like minuscule, but on average it's about 500 or so. There's months where I think I peaked into the 800s, but again, it could be a lot more. I just needed to take the time to eBay, because finding is the best part, but eBaying does, you got to research it, you got to take photos, it definitely takes some time. So on average it was rolling through about 500 a month or so. And that's, I mean, if this is just a hobby, I mean, boom, you got a sweet car payment. You know what you could have for 500 a month? You could have a sweet, you could pay for half your mortgage. You could have a sweet car payment if this is just, you know, play money. You could have, you know, you could help out people in the community. You could donate to your church. You could, I mean, do all sorts of good stuff. So anyway, hopefully that'll shine some light on that. And again, we're going to have more of these episodes, so ask away, and I will try to log in, or I'll have an episode where I comment to ask away in the description box so that we can have the sheet right here in front of me, so I'll able to answer your questions right here. But the last question would be, oh, you know what, I totally forgot to mention, guys. You guys probably already remember this, but speaking of which, I'm looking at a laptop right here answering your questions, and this laptop was found DDing. Not to mention this mouse. Anywho, so guys, last question of the evening for this episode is future plans for the channel. Now, again, for you guys who are subscribers that have just come for the vlogs, and you're like, what the heck is this dude doing? What is this DDing? What's this guy rummaging around the trash for? Anyway, if you're just here for the vlogs, I love to dumpster dive. I love it. It's literally an adventure every time I go out. Sometimes I get these little nervousness in my stomach because you just never know. You do strike out. You do strike out sometimes. Rarely, but you do. It depends how many complexes you go to. It's all a numbers game, guys. It's all a numbers game. I've mentioned this plenty of times before. You go to a complex with 400 units, right? Do the math. Some 2, some 3 people in one unit, some people 1 unit. That's a lot of people all throwing away at one time. It's all a numbers game. You hit up 4 or 5 complexes one time. There was a time I did like 6 or 7 complexes. Of course you're gonna find something as long as you go on the right days. Now, it's taken me a while to get the schedule down, for instance, what day of the week, when they throw things away. Now, commercial, I'm starting to kind of get a little bit more sense. They've been switching their schedule up on me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So either they know what I'm doing, but again, I'm clean about it. But again, after they throw a whole dumpster away, I take the whole entire thing. So the employee might come out and he might scratch his head going, I thought this thing was full last night. Now it's empty. Did the trash guy come? And then he sees the trash guy come back 2 hours later. He's like, hey man, did you come twice? And he's like, no man, I've only come once. And he's like, what's going on? So I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're switching up their trash days on me commercially. But anyway, residentially, they always do it same exact days. Just find the days that work. Find the days mostly people put out stuff the night before. I go on these rants, but anyway, back to the original thing for the channel. I will be doing more vlogs on the channel, and I will be doing more DD videos on the channel, which I know a lot of you are waiting for. I'm trying to get my schedule down now that I'm doing it full time. But again, I do have quite a few other channels. I have a BMW car channel. I have my review video channel. So I'm doing videos pretty much non-stop all day long. My goal is to do 1 DD video a week, and I want to do at least 3 or 4 vlogs every week. I'm going to try for more. I don't know if I have it in me to do a daily vlog. I'm going to try, maybe. Not right now, but maybe. Let me get caught up on my schedule first. But at least 3 or 4 vlogs is my goal per week, and at least 1 DD video per week. And sky's the limit, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode of Q&A, episode 1. And we will be doing this quite a bit more in the future. I'll let you guys know the newest episode of Trash or Treasure will be up soon. So stay tuned for that. And I might have you guys leave some comments in that for the next episode for Q&A. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, happy hunting. Find your spots. It's a numbers game you're not going to find unless you go. Have a great, great night. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button wherever that thing is. And if you want to check out my other stuff that I do, look in the description box. You guys have a wonderful night. Take care. Until the next time. My name is Chris.
Yo, if you're sick and tired of paying too much for stuff, just look in that dumpster and you might come up. Yo, come ups, I come ups are big. Come ups are small people throwing away mad stuff all day long. But then you can sell for cash and gold because all of us need a come up these days. Come up, come up.